Good afternoon, everyone. I, Pramila Shinde, on behalf of Shankar Kachi Engineering College, Mumbai, welcomes you all in session 2 of refresher program on developing secure IoT applications. We are glad to introduce the speaker for our this session, Dr. Parikshit Mahale. He is professor and head of Department of Computer Engineering at Srimati Kashibai Navle College of Engineering, Pune. Currently, he is pursuing postdoc at CMA Aalborg University, Denmark. By now, you will be curious to know about his PhD. Well, he has completed PhD in wireless communication from Aalborg University, Denmark in the year 2013. And his PhD topic was Identity Management Framework for IoT. He is recognized PhD guide of Savitribai Phule, Pune University. He is recipient of Best Faculty Award. Sir is working as a reviewer for TMH, Pearson and Oxford Press for the subject Design and Analysis of Algorithms. He has authored 13 books and edited books by CRC Group, IGI Global and Springer. He has worked as guest editor for Springer book titled Internet of Things, Smart Computing and Technology, a Roadmap Ahead. He is reviewer for Springer, IEEE, Oxford University Press, CRC Press and Elsevier journals. He is associate editor for IGI Global Journal. He has worked as a TPC member for many IEEE international conferences, most recently IEEE ICC 2020. He has total 4 patents to his credit and coordinated 7 international MOUs. He has conducted corporate training for Matrix Technology, Cognizant and Infosys. He has held various positions such as Chairman Board of Studies at Savitribai Phule Pune University, Member Board of Studies for many universities in Maharashtra. Dr. Parikshit sir has total around 19 years of experience. Before I hand over the session to sir, I request all the participants, if you have any query, please write in Q&A box. Your questions will be asked at the end of the session, and please fill the attendance link which will be provided in the chat box at the end of the session. May I now request Dr. Parikshit sir to start the session? Sir.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. So, very good afternoon to all of you. Before we start our session, extremely sorry for the inconvenience caused due to runtime issues in Microsoft Teams. But don't worry, we will try to patch up the time which we have missed. Pramila madam, thank you very much for nice introduction. And thank you to Shan Anchor College of Engineering, Asmita madam and entire team and Chetan sir for invitation and sorting this runtime issue which was happened in last 10 to 15 minutes. And we also don't know what was happened, only Chetan sir knows what was happened, and finally he could sort out this matter by taking remote access of my laptop. So once again, thank you to all. Thank you to Shahan Anchor College of Engineering. I have an appeal to all the participants during my session for next maybe 1 hour and 1 hour 30 minutes. If you have any question, please note it down somewhere on your notebook, and then definitely we will try to answer. I will try to answer all your questions which comes in your mind, maybe at runtime, which are there in your mind maybe since last many months, many years since you started working in this field of IoT. First of all, I would like to congratulate all participants as well as organizers for organizing this online faculty development program, which is sponsored by AICTE and IST. And the topic is very nice, developing secure IoT applications. So now I think let's make it interactive. And now I got the point, as Chetan sir has rightly mentioned, that this event is completely online. So Now, as you know that Internet of Things. So I have first and most important question that why in Indian context we are talking about IoT today, why not before 5 to 7 years? First question. So please answer your responses in that Q&A chat box so that it will be communicated to me. So first and basic question, why IoT today in Indian context? Why not before 5 to 7 years? So one thing is very important. Please try to understand why this, today we are talking about IoT and machine learning and AI, but why not before 5 to 7 years? This is the first point to be noted. Second question is, as you know that the word IoT, Internet of Things. So when we talk about IoT, I would like to ask you another question now. Do you know who is known as father of IoT? Pramila madam, have you received any responses from the participants?
Sir, no responses so far. I will just check once again.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so now
we have got one response. Somebody is saying because of availability of fast internet, we discuss IoT.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So one thing, one should take a note of this, that why today we are talking about Internet of Things, essentially in Indian context. If I will give you very simple, my example, I started working in this field in 2009. As rightly mentioned by in my introduction, I got an opportunity to do my PhD in Europe, Denmark. And I started working in this area in 2009, but let me tell you very honestly, nobody knew what is IoT in 2009-10, essentially in Indian context, almost 12 years back, right? Now, the participant who has answered rightly, yes, please take a note that availability of internet at faster and cheaper rate is most important reason why today we are talking about IoT, right? Second reason is there are more number of devices which are being created with Wi-Fi capabilities. This is second reason why today IoT is taking a good shape. But please note, I am talking about these facts only in Indian context. Okay. Third point, due to this availability of internet, the cost of connecting has been decreasing drastically, and I hope all will agree with me. And you know that today we are carrying internet in our pocket, right? And the fourth point is the smartphone market is skyrocketing today, because you know that almost all individuals are using smartphone across India. So these are four main reasons why today we are talking about IoT. But I would like to go beyond it. If I will ask you, my another second question was, who is known as father of IoT? Do you know?
Sir,
Madam.
We have received the responses from the participants. Kevin Ashton is father of IoT.
Okay, now I have another question. It is question to one who has answered Kevin Ashton. Yes, your answer is absolutely correct. But now my next question is, why Kevin Ashton is known as father of IoT? Okay, I believe in more on why is known as father of something instead of who is father of something, right? If I will ask you another simple question, do you know who is father of computer? You know all, but my next question would be why. Then my next question would be, do you know who is father of modern computer? If your answer is correct, I would be happy, but I would be more happy if you can answer me why that particular person is known as father of modern computer. So same question goes to you all, is that why Kevin Ashton is known as father of IoT?
So I have received many responses who are saying Kevin Ashton is father of IoT.
But why is not yet answered? Why is known as father of IoT? Okay, doesn't matter. I will answer. Kevin Ashton was working in Auto ID lab of MIT USA. You know, Auto ID lab is famous. Why? Because the RFID technology is invented by Auto ID lab of MIT USA, and Kevin Ashton and his team was the first team who could connect few devices surrounding to them to the internet. Okay, and that's the reason he is known as father of IoT. Is it clear? Now, as the IoT is a buzzword and it was coined by Kevin Ashton, Internet of Things. So one thing is very clear that IoT is useless without internet. Okay. Now, then, eventually many researchers have coined the term Internet of Things, People and Services. Okay, IoT-PS, Internet of Things, People and Services. Later on, now the buzzword is Internet of Everything, IoE. Okay, so just read this word once loudly in your mind, Internet of Everything, IoE. So when we talk about IoE, what does it mean? That everything surrounding to us can be connected to internet. I hope you all are with me and try to understand what I am trying to convey you. Now the buzzword is Internet of Everything, and the meaning of this Internet of Everything is everything surrounding to us can be connected to internet. Is it clear? Now when we say that anything surrounding to us can be connected to internet, so what this anything should have? If I will ask you a very simple question, that I hope you can see, my question would be, how will you connect this pen to internet? Is it clear? So this is my next question. Simple. My next question is, how will you connect this pen to internet? Because now we are talking about Internet of Everything, and Internet of Everything means even, I will ask you next question, that how will you connect this water bottle to the internet? Is it clear? Okay. So first point, try to understand is just now, when we talk about Internet of Everything, now my simple question to you all was, how will you connect this pen to internet? So simple, try to understand fundamentally that I have three capabilities, and these three capabilities are computing, communication and sensing. Okay, computing, communication and sensing. Is it clear? So now I will try to explain you all how will you connect this pen to internet. Simple, what I will do. So one thing is very clear fundamentally, that I have to add these three basic functionalities of connecting, communication and sensing. Okay, so please understand fundamentally that how will you add these three functionalities to this object. How will you add these three functionalities to this thing? Okay, so what I will do, I will add small RFID tag to this pen. I will attach small RFID tag to this pen, and on that tag, the tag has memories in KB. So I will add my employee ID to that pen. Now this RFID tag, which is associated with this pen, is read by nearby RFID reader, which is Wi-Fi enabled. Understood? Now that RFID reader, which is Wi-Fi enabled, is connected to nearby access point, and my laptop is connected. My laptop is accessing internet from that access point, and this is how my pen is connected to internet. Is it clear? But one thing you should note, that how many functionalities you added? I added three functionalities. With the help of RFID, I added computing functionality. RFID reader is adding sensing functionality, and the protocol which is there for communication, that is access point Wi-Fi means WLAN 802.11 is adding functionality of communication, and that is how my pen is connected to internet. Right now there are many issues which are going on in the industries, as well as education industry, as well as corporate industry. Everyone is looking at IoT in their own perspective, right? But my methodology would be something different. I would like to take you to the fundamental understanding of IoT, so that you will have a very clear picture about what is IoT, and then you will enjoy working in IoT when you will start building your applications, when you will start initiating your research and many more things. Right now, when we talk about Internet of Everything, now this is Internet of Everything is right now a buzzword. I can tell you in next 2 to 3 years, IoE will be absolute, and some another buzzword will replace IoE. Maybe next generation internet, maybe future internet, we don't know. But what is important is, when we talk about this fundamental concept of IoT, Again, there are many misunderstandings even in the industry. Some, if I will ask you, we will come to definition later on. Okay. So now, when you are supposed to build any application or when you are supposed to build any use case in IoT, what is important is, most important point is, yes, what is required. As you know that when we build any software, we follow software development life cycle. Yes or no? And software development life cycle starts with requirement gathering, and then analysis and design, and then program coding, and then testing, and then deployment, and many more things. But now coming to the IoT and application development, things are a bit different, and that we will try to understand. Okay. Now, as I'm not able, I will have one small question that in IoT, always there are two types of use cases: indoor use case and outdoor use case. Okay, or rather, IoT application fall into two categories. One type of application is indoor, and second type of application is outdoor. Okay, so now if I will ask you simple question that smart home is indoor or outdoor, please answer. Pramila madam, please let me know if you are receiving any responses.
Yes, sir.
Smart
yes,
home is indoor or outdoor? Okay, have you got any response?
I will update you as soon as I receive the responses. So.
Yeah, so smart home is one of the application of IoT, and it is indoor or outdoor?
It is indoor, sir.
Very good. It is indoor use case. If I will give you example of smart city, can you tell me whether it is indoor or outdoor?
Sir, it is outdoor application, smart city.
It is outdoor. Yes, it is outdoor scenario. So there are always two types of scenarios. One is indoor and the second is outdoor. Okay. And if I will take an example of smart country, then it is going to be the combined example of both indoor as well as outdoor, right? So why I'm discussing these things? Because when you are getting into IoT application development, you have to first decide whether it is indoor application or outdoor application, because based on the type of application, your entire requirement, design, implementation will change. Is it fine? Okay, so now I'm going to play one video and let me know whether that video is visible or not. But before playing that video, please try to understand, observe the video very carefully. I am very sure you will enjoy it, don't worry. But while watching that video, appeal to all participants, request to all participants to generate some questions, and then definitely we will take your questions during our question answer session. So let me know my this video is visible or not. To all participants to please observe this video very carefully, and then generate some questions in your mind, and these questions will be your answer to these questions will be understanding to your understanding towards IoT. Please look at this small, incident. Son is opening the door of refrigerator. He's taking water bottle, and then door left open, and in short time he is getting notification on his smartphone that door is left open. Okay, so please think about it, how it is to be implemented, and that is what is IoT. Okay. So now I'm okay. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Now my question to you all is, was it indoor use case or outdoor use case?
Because there were many IoT small applications.
Okay, so any other very good. So this is the best example of combined use case where we are integrating indoor and outdoor together. So again, it will have different set of requirements, right? So objective to play this video is to make you understand which are three major components in entire IoT use case. Can you answer? Any participant can answer. Which are the main components required to implement IoT applications? Anybody has answered? Please feel free to express yourself. Otherwise, I don't want to make it one way. It should be interactive.
Sir, we have received the response from the participant that for that video indoor as well as outdoor.
Yes,
and
very
now
good.
We have received the answer as proximity sensors.
Very
and
good. Very good.
Answer that is integrated.
Okay.
Indoor as well as outdoor.
Okay. Okay. So now, if you must have noticed, any IoT application will consist of only three major components. And these three major components are RFID technology, wireless sensor network or sensors, and smartphone. You take any IoT application, you will not find any fourth component other than these three major components. Is it clear? So fundamentally, please try to understand any IoT application will consist of your RFID technology integrated with smartphone, wireless sensor networks or sensors which are there in your indoor use case or outdoor use case, and then the last is definitely your smartphone, right? Now,
I've received many responses. The participants are telling sensors. One participant is telling sensors, connectivity actuators, and other
yes,
participant is saying sensors and target boards.
very good, very good, very good. Okay, so now after this, I'm going to play. I'm going to, as you have already seen, what is IoT. So that the what use case or the what video I have presented is nothing but Internet of Things. But yes, if you look into that video, it is basically the different activities which are happening with us since morning when we start our day to the night when we end our day. I'm very sure that few activities you are experiencing, but many of the activities so far we are not experiencing. And the reason is, in Indian context, the reason is lack of infrastructure still is limiting us to experience many of the activities which are presented in video. I hope you all are agree with me. Yes, so it means that we are lagging. Yes or no? But when we say that we are lagging, don't take it in negative way. When we are lagging, what does it mean? We have a lot of opportunities to contribute because we are lagging and we have that opportunity to contribute to this field of IoT. Is it clear? Okay, so don't take it in negative way. When I say that we are lagging, what does it mean? There are many opportunities for you all, your students, you as a researcher, you as a teacher, you as a citizen of India to contribute something to the benefit of society, right? Now, coming to the same point again, when we talk about that entire video, you must have seen that, yes, it is basically, everything is happening automatically, but nothing happens automatically. For layman, it is happening automatically. We are aware of it. But for a person like us, you and me, nothing is automatic. We are making it happen. We are writing the logic. And who is making it smart? Machine learning is making it smart. Yes or no? I hope you all are agree with me. Machine learning is making it smart. IoT had made data big. And that's the reason that when the data is big, we have cloud coming into picture, right? So these are something very interesting things associated with this. Now I'm going to play one. I'm going to do one exercise, and that exercise will take not more than 5 minutes. I hope all participants are ready with pen and paper. Participants, give heading now. 10C model. This is my own model to make you understand more fundamentally what is IoT. Okay. Now write down 10C. My question is, please listen me carefully. My question is, if you have to build IoT application, right? If you have to build IoT application, then I'm writing build IoT application. Then which C will come first? What will be second C? And then in line with that, you have to rearrange these 10 C's in right order. I hope my question is clear. My question is, I have to build IoT application. In that, I have given you already 10 C's. So which C should come first? Please. And then what should be second C? What should be third C? So once you rearrange this 10 C in correct order, I will say that yes, you understood what is IoT application development. So please rearrange what should be the first. So I hope all participants can hear me. My question is very simple. If you have to build IoT application, which C should come first? Which should be the second C? Which should be the third C? So like that, you have to rearrange 10 C in correct order. So any answer you have received, madam?
First one is category.
Very good. So correct answer. Now I am posting on the slide, what that Q&A. First is category. Very good. Second?
So second I have received as content.
No, second is component. Okay, once you have decided category, second is component. Once you have decided which components are required, then third is cost.
Communication as the response I have received.
No, communication is no. So I'm posting right sequence in this on the text box. Okay. So I hope all participants can hear me. First C will be category, means indoor or outdoor or hybrid. Once you decided that, then it will help you to decide which components are required to build that IoT application, right? So second C will be component. Once components are finalized, then third C will be cost. When cost is done, then next C will be connectivity. After connectivity, then next C will be communication. After communication, then next C will be cooperation. After cooperation, next C is convergence. After convergence, my devices are connected to internet. They will generate data. Based on the data, we can decide context, and last is complexity. Is it clear? So please try to understand. This is my own model, which is not available in any of the book, even on the web. But this model will help you to understand what is Internet of Things and how to build applications in IoT. Is it clear? So now I will repeat it again. First C is category. Second is component. Third is cost. Fourth is once cost is finalized, then I will establish connectivity. Once connectivity is established, then they will be able to communicate. Once one device is communicating to other, then they will cooperate. So many devices will talk to each other. Once cooperation is done, then they will be able to converge, because some devices will connect to 3G. Some devices will be connected to your Wi-Fi. So once convergence is done, means once your device is connected to internet, then only your device will be able to generate some data, that is content. So based on the type of data which is generated, I will be able to decide context, whether it is healthcare data, agriculture data, retail data, and something else. And then it's complexity. So I hope what responses are you getting, madam? Any responses you are receiving still?
So I have received a few responses. Some Hanuman Sales received cost and complexity.
Doesn't matter. So I hope all participants can hear me. So I have already given you right sequence in the chat box. So please try to understand how this the application is to be built. How this which are the main phases to build any IoT application. Okay. So now I will share my one slide to all of you. Please let me know whether slide is visible or not. So this is a very simple slide where you can see the sequence in which you have to proceed when you are supposed to build IoT application. So first is category. Second is component. Once component is finalized, then you are deciding the cost. Cost is done, then you will establish connectivity, then communication, cooperation, convergence, content, and context. So these are some steps which you have to follow when you will build any IoT application. And you can see complexity is associated with every task. Right? I hope the slide is visible now. Let us start with few slides. As you can see that since last I think 40 minutes I have not used any slide, but now I will try to use some slides. So I hope the 10C model is clear to all of you. Now you can see there are two logos on my main slide. One logo is Siagar Institutes, where I am working since last 15 years, and another logo is Savitribai Phule Pune University. So I also represent Savitribai Phule Pune University in various capacities. I am in Pune since last 20 years. with Siagat Institute since last 15 years, and before Siagat I was working with VIT for 5 years. I am not from Pune. I am coming from long distance. There is one place in Yavatmal. I hope you heard about Yavatmal. So I basically belong to that part. There is one small city, Ghatanji. So I am basically from Ghatanji, and then I moved to Pune before 20 years, and now I am almost in Pune here. Okay. So as already introduced in my introduction, I represent Pune University as well as many other universities in various capacities. So this is something, I hope slides are visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Your slides are visible, sir. We are on the slide internet in olden days.
Okay, slide is visible, I am audible and I am visible. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Okay, fine. So availability of internet, cost of connecting is decreased. More number of devices are created with Wi-Fi capabilities and smartphone. No doubt, smartphone is playing a magic in this entire IoT ecosystem. And this is how it has evolved from desktop to smart, tab, and now tab to smartphone, and we don't know in future what will happen. So now this slide is very important. You can see in the video which I have played, there are all devices, sensors are generating some data, and this data is stored on either public cloud or private cloud. There are billions of IP devices deployed in home, maybe office, maybe roadside, and so on. And there are lots of services, mobile services, data service, voice service. So this entire three corners are connected together using cloud, internet, and mobile. Okay, and that's the reason what we require scalable and secure infrastructure as well as architecture to implement and drive this entire IoT ecosystem further, essentially in Indian context, where still we have not migrated completely to internet infrastructure. There are many services still we have been doing offline. But this slide is very, very important, and please try to understand technically what is IoT is. Okay, and then we'll try to define what is IoT. Now, if you will see this current internet, this is current internet or traditional internet, where everything is all devices are connected by wired medium. But now this is future internet or current internet, where we are getting into connecting to something through wireless communication, and we are using this wire personal area network. We are using this microcells and so on. So if you will compare this slide and this slide, there is a difference in these two slides in three parameters. One is communication medium, second is protocol, and third is architecture. So when we migrate from traditional internet to current internet, there is transformation from also for these three components, and these three components are communication medium, protocol, and architecture. And that is how it has been evolving. That almost we are doing now, even if my TV is IPTV, then we are rendering our many movies from our smartphone to your smart TV. So this is how it is transforming. So my main topic of discussion is, when we talk about these two version of internet, that is traditional internet and current internet. So there are many things to be discussed, but still I will try to come to the point that when you are connecting two IoT networks together, then there are many things which are still yet to be addressed. And as I have mentioned, you have or we have a lot of scope to contribute to this interesting field of IoT, because nothing is standardized in IoT, right? So you can see here trust. So there is a lot of work which is to be initiated to build good trust management protocol, trust score calculation schemes, and so on. There is still a lot of work required in the context of authentication, access control, context management, addressing, and so on, because still nothing is standardized. As you should know that not a single protocol has been standardized in the context of IoT. Is it clear? So please think about the potential which is there still in this area, at least for next 1 decade. As already we have discussed, there can be indoor scenario, smart home, Don't get surprised in the near future in outdoor use case when you are passing by medical store and you are getting notification that these medicines are under stock. As you must have seen in the video that when mother was in the mall, she got notification on her smartphone that eggs and rice are under stock. Don't get surprised in the near future when you are passing by your daughter's school, you are getting notification that your daughter's fees is pending or due. So these are small use cases which can be developed. I also pointed one of the small use case in that video when son opened the door of refrigerator and it was left open and he got notification on his smartphone that close the door, right? So these are some interesting use cases, small use cases which needs to be built, designed, built, implemented, tested, and then this collection of all these use cases together will give you a small use case, maybe indoor smart home, and then eventually you can go to the complete big use case, right? So now these are some definitions which are available in the literature. European Commission is the first who has coined definition of IoT. Fortunately, I was associated with European Commission for almost 2 to 3 years when I was doing my postdoctoral research as well as PhD. Then there is another definition coined by AutoID Lab. You can just read it. There is another definition by Cisco. Fortunately, I got an opportunity to write my couple of papers with Cisco USA. So this is definition coined by Cisco. This is another definition coined by Tata Consultancy Services. TCS is the first Indian IT company who got into IoT business. But now you can see that every definition has got different perspective, right? And that perspective is based on the business domain of that particular company. Now coming to the next slide. There is my definition which is already published in my book by Springer, and the copyright is also with Springer, and this is my definition which was published in 2014. And what I have tried to define IoT as a service oriented network with resource constraints, and it is mandatory subset of future internet. It is also convergence of sensor nodes, RFID objects, and smartphones or smart devices, and it connects all devices surrounding to us to provide contextual services. But dear all participants, today when I read this definition, I am really not happy because I think that this definition require more review. Moving ahead, this is how we are evolving. PC, tablet, smartphone to now we are going to smart homes, smart cities, smart offices, smart factories, and everything is going to be smart. So I have one question now. Who is making IoT applications smart? Let us wait for responses. My question is, who is or what is making IoT applications smart? Okay, this is my next question. Let me know the responses whenever you will receive. So this is how your data is increasing at faster rate, and that is how why that's the reason why data science is coming up. Okay, so you should not forget data science credit goes to IoT because IoT devices has increased, so data is increased, and that's the reason we require data science. Okay, so now I will come to the main slide. Yes, so now madam, this slide is visible? Figure?
Yes sir, yes sir.
Yes sir.
Okay, very good. So now I request all participants to look at this architecture. This is IoT layered architecture. This is my own architecture published by IEEE in 2016. Now this is a layered architecture, and you can see now layer 1 is all device layer. Okay, where you have your smartphone, wearables, smart TV, car, sensors, and everything. Now these devices are connected to maybe when you are at roadside, my device is using internet from operators, that is 2G, 3G, yes or no, right? When you are at home, you are using internet, or you are connected to your WLAN or Wi-Fi, and when at remote place, your sensors are connected to wireless sensor network. So layer 2 is access layer. Okay, so once your devices are connected to internet, what does it mean? They are also connected to your services which are running on the cloud. Your device can post some data on the cloud, or your device can download some data from the cloud. Okay, now next question to all the participant is, please do this activity as soon as possible so that we can move ahead quickly. Okay, so next question to participant is, can you distribute all these 10 C's at 3 layers? Next question from participant is, can you distribute the 10 C's what we have discussed to these 3 layers? Okay, madam, let me know the responses which you will receive.
Sir, we have received the responses for your earlier question as sensors and internet connectivity. We have received the responses for your earlier question of that thing, sensors and internet.
Okay.
How for this particular we have received the answers as sensors and internet and connectivity.
Okay, sensor, internet and connectivity, and machine learning. Who is making it smart? Machine learning is making it smart. Is it clear? Now coming to this definition, which I have already discussed, what is missing in this definition is cost, cooperation, cloud, big data. So these are few points which are missing, right? Because, and yes, no doubt one more word is missing. IoT is service oriented, so I should make it smart or intelligent service oriented network, right? And who is making it smart? Who is making it intelligent? Machine learning is making it intelligent. Machine learning is making it smart. Is it fine? So now coming to the main slide which we have discussed here, my question was, can you distribute the 10 C's to these 3 layers? Okay, can you distribute the 10 C's what we have discussed to these 3 layers? Any responses have you received, madam?
So I'm waiting for responses. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir. We have next session scheduled at 3:30 p.m. So
okay, so I have to wind up. Okay.
If we can finish the session on time.
Yeah, I will do that. I will not wait for responses. So now my question would be to distribute 10 C's at these 3 layers so that you will understand how this 3-layer architecture will work when you will implement your IoT applications. Okay. So now what is important is these are some my patents which are already published. I have 7 patents to my credit, and almost most of the patents are inline to farmers. Okay, I would have shared one patent, that is Scarecrow, with you, but due to time limit, I think I have to proceed further. So now what is important is IoT has multiple pillars like communication, processing, identification, location, and storage. But all these 5 pillars require security, and you have to decide in which pillar you want to work, you want to contribute. So these 5 pillars are nothing but these 3 layers in the IoT architecture what I have discussed. Is it fine? So key pointers for making this IoT to drive further is big data, machine learning, cloud, sensor, internet sharing and search, and no doubt is interoperability. Interoperability is required because anyway we are driving every application on the existing infrastructure. So any application which is being built on the existing infrastructure should be backward and upward compatible with first layer and second layer. Fine. So now what is important is with this I will try to conclude. So what is now emerging trend is to connect your IoT to the cloud. Okay, so the same architecture which I have discussed was vertical. Now this is horizontal. Device layer. All devices are connected to local gateway by either Bluetooth, Zigbee or Wi-Fi, and then this gateway is connected to cloud. So to connect this gateway to the cloud, we require 2 gateway protocols, and the gateway protocols which are right now available, but none of them is standardized. Okay, so we have either COAP or we have MQTT. So COAP is based on UDP. and MQTT is based on TCP. Okay, so it is your choice now, but COAP is more lightweight as compared to MQTT. But don't forget, COAP is based on UDP and MQTT is based on TCP. So now it is your choice whether you want to go for COAP or whether you want to go for MQTT. But don't forget, these protocols are used to connect this gateway to the outside world. These protocols are used to connect your gateway to the cloud. Okay, and this is need of today because every IoT application is connected to cloud now. Okay, so now, so these are some technical details, you know, how this COAP works. But I think with the time constraints, we will try to conclude. So, an MQTT is like, you know, the data in MQTT is published in open format. So there are security issues, but now again, as I have mentioned, it is your choice whether to go for COAP or whether to go for MQTT, right? Now, so these are, you know, MQTT formats which are really required when you are implementing it at, you know, hardware layer. The last point, what is important is when you implement any IoT application, you need to know the wireless technologies for local connectivity, and options are there: Bluetooth, Zigbee, Wi-Fi, 6LoWPAN, and so on. Maybe, you know, 3G or 4G. You need to know protocols, that is MQTT and COAP, and also you need to know platforms. And platforms, you know, cloud platforms available today are IBM, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and so on. You also need to know open source tools, big data tools, and local electronic processing platforms, which includes Mbed, Arduino, Raspberry, and BeagleBone. You know, in our academics, generally we use Raspberry or Arduino, but you know, choice is yours whether to go for Arduino or Raspberry. And to answer this point more technically, you require Arduino and Raspberry to process data locally when you are collecting it from devices. Is it clear? And then use gateway protocol and then connect it to cloud. Okay, so now with this, I think let me conclude. These are the references. These are my contact details if you have any question related to IoT. I have done many projects in IoT with many European universities as well as many Indian organizations. So if you have any doubt, if you have any query, you can write me to my email ID. My number is also there. You can send, you know, my post on the WhatsApp. I will try to answer your question in, you know, minimum time. So I think with this, I would like to conclude. Many thanks to organizers, Shan Anchor College, Smita madam and entire team for inviting me. And I think I would be happy if I can answer your few questions before I conclude. Over to you, madam.
Sir, we have received some answers to the earlier question. The answers are sensor-driven computing.
Yeah.
And
What
another
next?
answer to that question is layer categories are layer category, component, and cost. That layers which we were talking about.
What is the answer to that? That is the most important question. Okay, so layer one is
Category.
Component and cost. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. What is layer 2?
Cost.
Yeah. Layer 2.
Sir, and participants are also requesting if they could get your PowerPoint slides.
Yeah, I will share with you. Don't worry. That email ID, HTTP/IT, I will share that presentation. Don't worry.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. For
yeah.
that.
Any more question? No. Any more question?
What is the importance of lightweight cryptography in IoT?
Very good. Answer to this question is, as you know that, answer to this question is, as you know, in IoT, there are all devices with resource constraints. All devices in IoT has limited memory, limited computing power, and limited battery. And that's the reason to ensure security, we require lightweight algorithm to run on these devices so that they will consume minimum energy. So that's why lightweight cryptography is playing important role for making, you know, secure IoT applications. I hope your question is answered.
Sir, I have a question for you, sir. For our final year projects, what kind of IoT projects can they take up?
Okay, they can take up very small IoT projects from the video which I had. Suppose I will ask you a very simple question. How will you build that project when that refrigerator was opened and it was left open and then sun has got you know, message? So small project you can build like this. right? Small project of automatic fire detection and sending notification to the user is another IoT based project which you can build. So student level projects are very interesting because they come in a very small scope, but it will be easy for all of us to understand how to build small IoT applications from the scratch, and then eventually we can move towards commercial applications, right?
Yes, sir. And
Yeah, please. हाँ मैडम बोला.
some participants would like to throw a light on your very first question was that why Kevin Astin is father of IoT. So one participant would like to discuss this with you, sir.
Okay, Kevin Aston is known as father of IoT because he is the first person who have tried to connect devices surrounding to him to the internet using limited internet which was available at that time. But he faced lot of problems. That's why, you know, always my question is why he is known as father of IoT. So if you can Google something, I would be happy. You will get many more. So there is a small story he has written, and that story got very much popular because the story tells everyone that, you know, how he has faced lot of problems to connect the devices to internet. That's why he is known as father of IoT, because he is the first person to, you know, connect devices to the internet. Simple, right?
Okay, sir. Thanks for that answer. But one participant is also asking which emulator is best to implement security features to an IoT application.
You can go for NS3, Network Simulator 3, or Qualnet.
I hope this has cleared the participant's answer.
Network Simulator 3 or Qualnet. These are two important tools. And if you are building any security protocol for IoT, then you can go for Avispa, Automated Verification of Internet Security Protocol Tools and Application. Avispa, AVISPA. Avispa is a tool which is globally accepted. Automated Verification of Internet Security Protocol and Applications, AVISPA. Avispa. It is Linux based, but the results which are coming from Avispa are globally accepted by any country. So don't worry.
Participants are requested if they have more questions to the sir, they can ask on their email address which sir has provided.
Or WhatsApp.
Participants are requested, or on
Yes.
WhatsApp they can ask the sir any questions if they still have in their mind.
Anytime.
Okay, sir. We are privileged to listen to your talk today, sir. Thank you so much for enlightening us with the IoT concepts and all the intrinsic details about those protocols as well as layers and those 10C. On behalf of Shan Inkar Kachi Engineering College, we would like to present you a small token of appreciation, sir. So
Thank you very much.
Kachi Engineering College, I have a small token of appreciation here for our speaker, Dr. Parikshit Mahale, sir. Sir, please accept it with our sincere thanks, sir.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So there is one more question, sir.
Yeah.
Can we take data from accelerometer movement on cell phone? This is a question one participant is asking.
Yes, we can take data from accelerometer on cell phone. We require API for that, and there are lots of API for, you know, in interfacing cell phone, smartphone to the accelerometer. So no problem.
Thank you very much, sir. I am Smita.
Thank you, madam.
Time from your busy schedule, and you are taking wonderful session, taking whatever you have learned and whatever you designed, from that you are explaining us. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. So, and once again, thank you to all.